The first question, I guess, is were you a fan of Neil Marshall's stuff before you signed up for Centurion? And that kind of
I wouldn't say like a huge fan of his stuff. I definitely liked The Descent. Oh, actually, I like Dog Soldiers and The Descent. I hadn't seen Doomsday, and didn't see The Descent too. So I was a fan of him as a director, but I hadn't seen everything. And I'm not really a horror-y, gory type fan.
That's it. He's one of the best people we have at doing blood and guts, I guess, isn't he?
Yeah, he loves it. He loves it. That's his style. He's great, man, and he's a great director, and but I'd only seen those two films, so it would be fair for me to judge whether I was a massive fan with only seeing like 35% of his work.
Yeah, and Matt Cross, your character as well. There's a bit in the film where he talks about being kind of a former runner, where he ran for sport and stuff. So was that kind of put pressure on you to get fit and stuff?
No, I'm pretty fit, man. Don't worry about me. I'm pretty fit, man. I can run with the best of him. So I remember him telling me when I spoke to him before the shoot, and I said, "Is there anything I need to do to prepare?" And he said, "Run." Yeah. Start running. But I mean, I go to the gym quite regularly and stuff like that anyway. So I was alright with that.
Did you face the wolves as well, or was that kind of
all
done separately?
All done separately, yeah. All done separately. So I didn't actually ever see the wolves.
How tricky was it as well, like working in those elements? Because there's like you see snow and like driving rain, and at one point you're in a river. I don't think you do the jump into the river, but you're kind of wading through.
Yeah, we did the wash down.
Yeah.
Cold, very cold. I mean, the snow was absolutely freezing, and the river day we were, that the water was so cold. It was like it was minus something. The only reason it hadn't frozen is because the current was so strong from the mountain, but it was like snow water coming down, and it was just 2 days before that it was frozen. It was like the coldest thing I'd ever been in my life, but we wanted to do it. The stuntmen were there, we didn't have to do it. Yeah. But I thought that it was important that we did it, and so JJ and I jumped in and did it.
Cool. Is there any on-set injuries and stuff like that you picked up doing it?
Yeah, I got a little bit of frostbite on my foot.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Able to recover though? Fine.
Yeah. The feeling came back in my left foot after my left toes after a couple of days, but it took about 6 weeks for it to come back in my right. And they went a bit white, but they didn't go black. If they go black, they fall off, but they didn't.
Yeah, and obviously this is kind of a very blokey cast. Was it kind of nice going from this to 4-3-2-1, which is you work with a lot of girls and stuff?
Yeah, I mean it's just a job really. It's just a job. So yeah, working with the guys is good. You get a lot of banter and a lot of chit chat, and then obviously you kind of with the 4 girls when you're more like a sort of fatherly figure, older brotherly type figure. So. And making sure and looking after them and making sure they get everything that they need to get done. But yeah, it was good. I couldn't say I have a preference. I just I liked all of it. Yeah. I might have preferred it if the girls were all maybe 7 years older. That might have been a bit more fun, but they weren't.
I saw like a while ago there was a short Reign of Death, which so I wondered what's the status of that. I think it's Matthew Savage.
Matthew Savage. Yeah, we're having talks about doing the feature. We had a meeting yesterday about it. And I think there's another one next week, and if the one next week goes well, then I think we'll be alright.
Oh, cool. And so you met him, he did Doctor Who, didn't he?
He's a concept artist, he's a concept artist on Doctor Who, and he directed the short, and he's got a good vision, and he's got a good future.
What kind of films are you drawing on as well? Any specific? Because it looks very noirish, but
it's sort of I guess it's sort of Blade Runner meets Sin City kind of thing. And that would be. That would be kind of the idea of the film. If it gets made, it might not get made. I mean, it's not you can't just make a short and put it online and all of a sudden you get a feature film. It might not get made. There's a lot of hurdles to jump. There's a lot of meetings to be had. But if it does, it'll be very dark. It's not like the short. The short was more of a test of what can be done and just in terms of the VFX in the world. But it would be very, very dark.
Yeah. Do you think that the kind of the short idea that you did is a good way to kind of get attention? Because I think that Neil Blomkamp did Alive in Joburg, which is kind of a prequel in a way to
District 9. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think that was the whole point of the VFX guys and Matthew doing that. Was to get that kind of thing across. And hopefully it'll work out.
Cool. Have you any more ideas for casting and stuff like that, or is it very? No, you can't say anything.
Way too far away from that.
Okay.
Way too far away from that. I mean, we haven't. You have to make sure that the film is 100% on before you can start looking at that kind of stuff. So when it's on, believe me, you'll know about it.
Okay.